So, shall we summarize what had happened during the meeting between Cyril Ramaphosa, his entourage, as well as Donald Trump, which is the president of the United States, as they just got off from the meeting that was televised, that we were anticipating, and we were just crossing fingers what will happen. So if you didn't know, it happened today. I don't know if anyone doesn't know about this, because this was one of, I would say, the biggest pivotal moments of the relationship between the United States and South Africa. But before we can do that, I just want to say, Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the cafe. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. Don't leave without subscribing. Like this video, it helps a lot. And also, please do comment down below. I would actually like to hear, what did you think about the meeting between Donald Trump and Cyril Ramaphosa? And without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. So a lot of people would say the meeting went well. A lot of people would say, was it worth it? And some would say it was just a childish moment for two presidents that would just sit and talk all sorts of things all together and golf in such a way that we also sometimes forget what is really happening around the world when it comes to geopolitics. So just to make you aware, I'm just going to point out there and there. I'm not going to talk about all these sorts of things that were happening there, because there's a lot of things that happened. But one of the things that I want to talk about is the video that was played in front of the whole people that were there. You know, that is media, Cyril Ramaphosa's entourage, as well as President Donald Trump entourage as well on his side. So that video was Julius Malema and obviously the Farm Killing story and all of those things, because this was the actual thing that we thought it is actually what they are mostly going to focus on, because that is the reason why there was a bit of an outbreak between South Africa and the United States. But obviously, some of us, we knew that when we saw that Annie Els and Rupert, as well as the other people that were there, it is all about business. They are there to just make sure that they are ironing their differences so that their businesses can continue accordingly in South Africa. Because obviously, if Donald Trump pulls the plug and say no AGOA, the trade might be very difficult for South Africa to actually mend or to actually make means when it comes to trading, because obviously the United States is actually the second biggest trade partner of South Africa. So we cannot afford to lose that. And if you lose it, that means we lose a lot of jobs as well, while we are having a problem with high unemployment rate in South Africa. So Cyril Ramaphosa, when he saw that video, I could see he was just uncomfortable watching that video. And I want to dive deep into this whole thing. You know, the song Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer, and all of those things. I, for one, on my side, I am not for that song. Yes, it was sung during the struggle, but we are not struggling the same way that we were struggling before. It is a totally different decade. It is a totally different step that we are in right now as a country. Songs like that shouldn't be allowed in the country that is trying to move forward with everything that had happened during apartheid. So obviously, as a president, I would also be embarrassed if I were to be in Cyril Ramaphosa's shoes, seeing those videos where Julius Malema is chanting and dancing and talking about how he's going to slit the throats of the whiteness and all of those things. That is the most embarrassing thing ever, because obviously it means that as a president, you are unable to enforce laws in your country. You are unable to force people to actually move forward, to jump some of the hurdles that are keeping them. Because obviously we know that parties like MK, EFF, they are surviving using the division. So they cannot survive without saying that we are fighting for black people and the enemy is white person. If they would wake up tomorrow morning without singing the song, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, we want the land, we will forcefully remove people from their land and all of those things, people won't chant with them anymore if they would wake up not singing those songs. But in reality, on my side, my ethics and my values don't allow me to actually agree with the song. That song should not be sung in South Africa at all at the moment. And Cyril Ramaphosa has got a responsibility to pull the strings for that song not to be sung in public at all. Especially in a country like South Africa where we've got high crime rates, especially that we have people are very mentally challenged. If they hear that Malema, if they follow Malema and they hear that Malema says this and this and that, you forcefully remove people from their land and all of those things, occupy the land and all of those things. Some people will take it as if it is a command. They have to do it. And I think there are people who have done it already. I know some of the places whereby they took land forcefully, or they occupied land forcefully, and that land, obviously, it was maybe going to be used for something else, or it is a land that is protected, has protected species of plants or animals or whatever. People just occupy the land because obviously Malema said they must occupy the land. So that was the embarrassing moment for Cyril Ramaphosa. And when he said that he didn't know anything also about the crosses of the farm killings and all of those things, and I was like, hello, what are you? Where are you living exactly? Are you Tinubu, that president of Nigeria, living in France while he's a president of a country that is across the oceans, across the ocean, and you are ruling the country on your laptop? So he should know a lot of these things. He should know all of these things that are happening, because that is what is happening in South Africa. You can't say, or you can't act shocked that it is happening. And also, in no way all of them did say that there is no farm killing. They did actually say that there is crime in South Africa, including those farm killings. So they were not denying that the farm killings are happening in South Africa. Especially when I think about that, because obviously when you go to social media, and on social media they say there's no farm killings and all of those things, people don't realize that when you say there's no farm killings, or when you say everybody is getting killed, you make it sound like it is just a day-to-day thing. It's a normal thing. It's not a normal thing. Yes, we understand that some people are not happy with the people that are saying farm killings and all of those things, and painting South Africa as if there is like a racially motivated murder and all of those things. I think some of the murders that are happening in the country, they are racially motivated. And we cannot run away from that, because there is still racial tension in South Africa. And it will take years and years and years for that to go away. But there is still racial tension in South Africa, and that should be known by everybody. Everybody should keep up with the information and the news the things that are happening in South Africa, as much as we try by all means to paint the country as this beautiful country and this rainbow nation and all of those things. But the things that are happening here, here's another thing. Rupert was given a chance, obviously, to speak. And I'm not going to talk about each and every one of them because, for example, any else, what does he know? Like whatever. I don't even remember what he was talking about. Yes, he talked about that crime and all of those things. But whatever he was saying, it just didn't make sense. It was just nonsense altogether. But anyway, um, I love. I don't know if I know that he has a farm. At least I know one. I don't know if he's got multiple farms. Um, he is a legend golf player, a legend, and beautiful farm actually in Stellenbosch that I went to a couple of years ago. Very nice, very nice cheese platters as well as very nice wine that I had. I don't know if they still offer the same things, but anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. So Johan Rupert spoke about that crime in South Africa is rampant. Obviously, crime altogether. He did not deny the fact that the farm killings are happening. But he said crime altogether is happening in all spheres in South Africa. So everybody is prone to be a victim of a criminal activity or affected by the criminal activities that are happening. And obviously, people are going crazy on social media that, especially white Afrikaners, they say that he is a sellout and all of those things. And I understand that they expected Johan to be more empathetic when it comes to what the narrative is saying, that there is a problem of farm murder in South Africa, racially motivated. And so, yeah. And I mean, Rupert is Rupert, and he's not a politician. Yes, he's got a big influence in South Africa. With or without our knowledge, what he's doing in the backgrounds, we don't know much what he's doing in the background, but he's got a very big influence because he is the richest man in South Africa. So definitely he will have an influence, and he was there for his best interests because obviously if the US pulls the plug, he's not gonna make the same money that he's making right now in South Africa. So he had to go there to say, you know what, yes, we agree that there's crime in South Africa, but it's not only specifically targeted to a specific race. It is something that is widely known in South Africa. And he made an example with the Western Cape, which I felt like, okay, you are actually pushing, pushing the DA under the bus over here when you talk about that. But anyway, it's not it's not under DA's control, but the national government's control, because obviously the DA doesn't control SAPS. They might have the city police and this police and that police, but they don't control the SAPS. So the problem with crime that is happening in Cape Town has to be dealt with by the national government, which failed to deal with such things in South Africa. They failed dismally to deal with those things, and it showed in the United States when they were having that meeting that there is incompetency that is happening in South Africa as much as there is corruption that is happening. Incompetency, corruption, and that, I feel like it was the most embarrassing moment for Cyril Ramaphosa, because he also kept on saying crime, crime, crime. But when I was sitting here, I felt so angry that you are talking about crime, but you have the upper hand to actually do something about what is happening in South Africa without you pushing any other things. And he kept on going back to the trade. He kept on going back to trading with the United States, this United States that getting more business in the country and all of that. Yes, we understand that we need business in the country. What are your own? What do you want to do? What is it that what is your plan to eradicate crime in South Africa? What is your plan? We can have the businesses coming here and all of those things. Then what is your plan? Because we don't know if we get 600 more businesses from the United States, for example. if the crime will be eradicated. Because for all I know, there's underworld in South Africa, and that doesn't mean that the crime will be finished. That underworld knows more money. That underworld people won't say, okay, we are done with our shenanigans that we're doing. We are just going to be regular workers at a company that is owned by an American somewhere in South Africa and whatever. They're not going to do that. What is your plan as a president? Because obviously you failed. And another person that spoke was Steenhuisen, which is the DA leader. He also reiterated that there is no targeted killings in South Africa. Everybody is prone to be affected by crime or be a victim of crime in South Africa. And you can guess that people are going all nuts, especially the DA voters. They are going all sorts of crazy. But what I saw or what I heard when he was talking there, I felt like he was actually polishing the DA as this savior of the country, because obviously he mentioned the GNU, that they are now in collision with the ANC and many other parties, and they were trying to stop the EFF, which was the center of the whole thing there, especially the EFF leader Julius Malema, and he made sure that he says that we went to this coalition because we are trying to stop these two parties that are actually singing these songs, and these parties are parties that we don't want to see in the White House in South Africa, because obviously if they would have their hands in those things and they will make rules, then it will be hell for South Africa. And that was him taking points, or that was him adding points for his party. And I feel like that will make the DA to have more black voters, because obviously they can see that this guy is trying. And I don't think they will lose. As much as I see a lot of people who voted for the DA and saying that the DA is finished and all of that, I don't think that will happen. I feel like that whatever he was saying, it was very strategic for him and his party. And I think his party will gain a different level of respect, especially from the black community around the country. So yeah, and I didn't want this video to be this long. I know I pushed around, but I wanted to highlight some of the things that just made me be interested in this recap of the actual meeting that Cyril Ramaphosa had with the President of the United States. Now we wait and we see what's going to happen. And what I liked about Donald Trump when it comes to that, he was on business. He stood there and said, you need to explain yourself. You need to explain yourself. What is going on here and what is going on there? So I loved the fact that he knew what he wanted to say. And the entourage of Ramaphosa knew they were there for business. They were not there for talking about addressing the issues of crime in South Africa. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. Please do me a favor, subscribe, like this video, comment down below with the moments that you liked on that meeting. I'll see you on my next upload. Have a fantastic one. Peace.